Alrighty. So let me just move myself into the limelight here. Okay, so what I wanted to chat about is something really, really important, is that you are not just your sun sign. We all have a sun. The sun in our natal birth charts is our identity, our individuality, and how we express ourselves. It's who we want to put ourselves out there, and sort of who we incarnated in this lifetime to become, to step into. It's our power source. That's what the sun is. So the sun's very bright, hot, dynamic. And it's where you want attention, you want validation, you want to be loved for who you are. And it's sort of how you want to shine, how you want to be generous. So that's also the sun. And so, like a lot of astrologers, like I want to say, and I want to be blunt, and I don't want to make a false assumption, but the greater majority of people, when they get started with astrology first, look at their sun sign. Now, I have a whole backstory as to my astrological journey that you can check out on my YouTube channel. I'll probably put the link below to that video that I made. But I started off learning about the different sun signs, and I just grew from there, and I started thinking about it. In the summer of 2019, I started thinking about it. So the sun sign is just the sort of basic level, ground level. That's the first thing that you learn. You learn all the signs, the order of the signs, the characteristics and traits and qualities of those signs, what they're all about, what they mean, and their significance. So you start there, but then you build upon that. Then you look at your moon sign, then you look at your ascendant, then you look at your Mercury, your Venus, your Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, house of Uranus, Neptune sign, Pluto sign, Uranus sign, your Neptune house, Pluto house, your north and south node, etc., your midheaven. So all of these things, and then you learn about the aspects in your natal chart. So it's, astrology is an onion. It has a lot of layers. And when we boil it down to just that sun sign and we simplify it in that way, we are just seeing the trunk of the elephant and not the whole elephant. We are seeing a part of our hand and not the whole hand when it comes to sun signs. That's why when you see your horoscopes that astrologers do every month for your sign, I would look at your ascendant sign and look at that sign first and foremost. So watch your rising sign, then watch your sun sign to order for the themes to make sense. But the rising sign is going to be more exact, more accurate for you. But anyway, the sun sign is where all the planets revolve around it. But you're so much more than that. So if you don't resonate with your sun sign, then there may be a reason, and maybe it could be that you are it. You don't have to think it, you just are it. You may be unconscious of it, but in a way. But that is just the base level of what is going on. It takes everything around it to make you who you uniquely are, make every person unique. So just somebody may be in Aries, like myself does not mean that they are necessarily athletic or they, like challenges or they are, this and that. And I think that we can stereotype science and get into what I call boxing astrology, where we're limiting somebody and we're putting them in a box of this is who they should be based off their sun sign, which is the most prevalent case. But it's really the sun is just the sun sign is just one tiny aspect of your natal birth chart. You really have to look at the whole picture and the full scope of your natal birth chart to understand who you uniquely are. For example, I need a lot of intellectual stimulation in order to sort of keep me going, keep me motivated. And I am, I have a great strength when it comes to words and communication because my Mars is in Gemini. In love and in relationships, I want to be able to talk and, have conversations with the person. And also my personal beauty would be more intellectual pursuits, books, communication, all those kind of things like that, because my Venus is in Gemini. And I could go on and on and on. My sun's in Aries, which is, assertive, initiating, wants to take the lead. It wants to be first. It wants to, speak its truth. But then the moon in Libra, as opposed to the Aries wanting to be independent, emotionally, I need partnership and relationships on a deep emotional level. If I were to talk about this astrologically speaking, I would really want my environment and my relationships to be harmonious and instinctively and emotionally I would want things to be in balance because the moon is in Libra. Now, I will admit to you that not everything that comes out of my mouth when talking about astrology I resonate with and fully understand it at, heart level. A lot of the things I say I do, get, but some of it is just intellectual in the mind. But so anyway, so you're more than just your sun sign. So don't freak out or don't worry if you don't resonate with whatever your sun sign is, because there is a deeper story. If you were to look at the story, they say you can't judge a book by its cover. It takes understanding your planets, your aspects, your placements, your aspects, the signs and houses that your angles are, which is your ascendant and midheaven. So, all of these things make up who you are as when you were born with a cosmic blueprint, which is your natal birth chart. It's the screenshot of the sky at the moment of your birth. And I say that because the sun could shift signs if you were born on a cusp day, such as, I don't know, June 20th. If you were born on, I don't know, March 20th, for example, then you could either be a Pisces sun or an Aries sun based off of the time of your birth. So that the time becomes important, the place becomes important. So, you add astrology, you add your nature versus nurture, life experiences, background, upbringing, and I will argue that all of those things, you can find evidence of that in your natal chart. Your natal chart gives you your evidence, and this is evidence of who you are. Astrology is not woo-woo. It is a science that is the oldest science on Earth. And now it's sort of coming into full bloom. This is the spring of astrology, or an astrological renaissance. And of course, you see so many people on Instagram and YouTube and those types of social media sites talk all about astrology, placement signs. There's a gazillion astrology channels on YouTube that I follow. If you look at my subscription list and my subscriptions, I have a lot of subscriptions. A lot of those subscriptions are astrology subscriptions. So, yeah. So you're not just your sun sign. There's more that defines you. Maybe if you have a stellium of planets in one sign, or a lot of, a huge amount of planets in one element. Say you are a fire sign, but then you have a grand trine in water, so you're more sensitive, more intuitive, more sort of spiritual, more emotional. So, that's where you need to, really look at that. Maybe you resonate with another aspect of your chart. So yeah. So I hope that I made this clear and cleared an astrological myth up, if it is a myth. Yeah, you're not just your sun sign.